Notice how it looks so clean. It's just lines, not too many, full line, top and bottom. Your chart don't look too crazy. Now, if you choose to use the rectangle property, remember you want to use the close of the last buying candle, and then we matching it with the wick, either with the wick of that candle or the bearish candle, right? Because the close and the turnaround point combined together is the full zone. That's where you get the whole what people talk about liquidity. Just to understand, basically liquidity would be where everybody placed the stop loss, pending orders, buy limits, sell limits, take profit. So that's where the money's is. That's what they're talking about, right? Based on what I have studied and learned to understand, right? That's where the money's at. So did the market come to the zone? Yes. Did it drop a bit lower? Of course it did. Now, can we also use a fib? Yes, we can. But in the case of this one, we not, because I show you one with the fib. We're going to do one without the fib. Remember, the Fibonacci is just another indicator. It's like an extra confluence. It's just icing to the cake as far as the setup that you have. So before we go down to a 4-hour time frame, what I'm going to do again, I am going to click the replay, right? I'm going to start a new one. So I'm going to rewind. I'm going to select bar, meaning I'm going to go back to, bring it exactly to here. Okay. Exactly here. Nope. Here. Like so. Okay. So when I drop down to the 4-hour, that's where it should be. Okay. See how it looks? So we know within the zone here is where we're looking for a price action. Can it drop lower? Yes. The idea is very simple. Just simply wait for that bullish engulfing. Okay. And then of course, market can continue to go lower, but you should be just fine. Because if you're using the previous low as your stop loss, you got nothing to worry about. Remember, between entry point and the actual low, let me also use a rectangle property for the bottom one. That way you understand it. So last selling candle to the wick low. Okay. This is the lowest wick right here. All right. I'm trying to make it exact. Okay. I think that's it right there. Let me lock it in. All right. See that? So your stop loss will go within here. Let me mark this one too. Move it back a little bit. I would like to be precise with it. Okay. Boom. There you go. So your stop loss would be literally within here. So transition to the 4-hour time frame. All right. Bring this in for you guys so you can see it better. That way it doesn't look too chaotic. Stretch this up. All right. All right. So remember, we won't be able to see it from all the way back there. So we're just going to react to the zone. Okay. We're going to react to the zone, and we just simply, at this point, are waiting for a bullish engulfing. All right. That's the zone. You see how the market is coming to the zone. We are not just simply waiting for a bullish engulfing. All right. So I did not run this yet to see the price action. So we're going to see how it looks like on the 4-hour, right? So I'm doing one candle at a time. Why? Because if I just click play, because of the speed that I have it, I won't be able to pull the trigger right away. And I want you to be able to see it accordingly. Now, do you see how the market hit the zone, right? Not only did it hit the zone, and it did give us a bullish engulfing, right? So market hit the zone, we got a bullish engulfing. Can we take the trade? Yes. Is it a price action? Yes. Can the market continue going down a little bit more? Yes. But is that a price action at the zone? Yes. Remember, once you understand that, okay, I'm taking my trade based off that and I'm putting my stop loss accordingly, you have nothing to worry about. Now, based off the 4-hour zone, stop loss is within there, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to take a buy, right? Here. And then we're going to place our stop loss below the zone, right? And if market comes back and wick us out, cool, there's no big deal. Why? Because we'll just simply wait for the next bullish engulfing to buy it back up, because we already understand in the higher time frame, we are waiting for a buy setup. Okay. So I'm going to drag this down a little bit because of course I want to place my take profit. I'm just going to run it all the way up there for now. Just for now, until I transition back to the higher time frame so I could just monitor it accordingly. All right. So we could click play, and then hopefully I'll try to stop it as fast as I could, right? So look at that. Right off the bat, we in profit, right? Market's coming back down. Like I said, did I not say, can it come back down? Yes, it can. You see that? But remember, our stop loss is at the previous low, right? Remember, that's where we entered. Ooh, sorry. I did something wrong. I am so sorry. I need to do a slight rewind. What I mean by that is, I said, remember the rules, right? I'm risking 250 no matter what. So with that being said, even though I'm not really good at using TradingView when it comes to the money count, but I'm still gonna stick with the same lot size. Well, I'm not gonna stick with the same lot size, but I'm gonna drop it, and then that way, until I can find what my stop loss will be. Let's just do a 2. Okay, same buy. Boom. Remember that stop loss has to be equal to 250, right? All right. Okay. I know it's shorter, but that just happens to be what it is. Okay. So I don't exactly know the exact lot. So let's try a 3 real quick. Okay. If not, I'll just adjust accordingly. All right. All right. Perfect. Close enough. All right. Within that area. So no matter what happened, right, I'm risking just the 250. All right. So the goal is to drop the lot size accordingly. All right. If the stop loss is so far away, drop your lot size. That way it equals whatever it needs to be. All right. That's what it's going to be for now. So I'll just move it on my own. Okay. As you can see, right off the bat, though, you went in profit for 8 hours. You was in profit for 8 hours. So again, at any moment in time, you could have put your stop loss in profit or just leave it alone because you're trading the higher time frame. Nothing you do will be wrong. That's part of your trading system. If you have a habit of just letting it go, if your stop loss get hit, it get hit. TP get hit, one of them have to get hit. I'm okay with that. As long as you're taking the right trade, right, and acting in your best interest, okay? That's also acting in your best interest. If you choose to put your stop loss in profit, cool. You got wicked out. As long as you're okay with that, you understand that is your trading journey. That's your psychology, okay? You're still acting in your best interest, right? So I did mention that the market can go a bit lower, right? As you can see, it's doing that. No. All right. Let's just say if you didn't take that one, the first one, you could have took this one right there as the entry. All right. So we're not gonna take any other entry unless it stops us out. Once it stops us out, we'll look for another entry. All right. All right. Okay. Looking so far so good. Woo! You see that? Look at that. Stop hunt low, still within the zone, but our stop loss is below zone. That 250, right? Didn't get hit out yet. Okay. It went as far as probably definitely by like maybe close to 200, right? Okay, so perfect, right? So you see how we got stumped out? That's a loss. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? Now remember, my stop loss was placed based off the 4 hour, right? Now, again, we just waiting for another entry point, right? So that's the first zone. We know it went within the zone itself, right? But we also know it didn't just go within the zone, it went a little bit lower. Remember, we act in our best interest. So that's a loss. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's how it goes. Even if you would have entered this, it went up for 4 hours. Did it go up? Yes. Did it come back? Yes. Again, we are now simply waiting for the next price action so we could take our buy, right? So we don't back test, right? And say, oh man, I would have taken this, I would have taken that. No, the rules are the rules, right? Rules are rules. See how I continue down, right? So again, we waiting for a bullish engulfing. All right, so we have another one. Okay. Oof. I tapped it a little bit too much. I have to rewind it just one to be more precise with our entry. Okay. So right here, with this close of this candle right there. All right, I'm gonna enlarge it. So we have one loss, right? Just so we understand that. It did go our way, okay? And then even with this right here, came back, went our way, right? Even with this one, went our way. So all of our buy went positive before we got wicked out, and then eventually it did. So a loss is a loss, but it's a learning lesson, right? So after a loss, another opportunity will present itself, right? So I'm gonna tap it once, boom, right? So we got a bullish engulfing that engulfed the previous what? Previous bearish candle. Again, this is where our buy would be. Okay, so remember what I said, right? Our stop loss is placed based off previous low. So since I'm using the 4 hour, right, our stop loss is supposed to be where? Down there. Okay, so we already know um, based on the previous trade that we took, our stop loss would be way too much. So guess what we have to do? We have to change our lot size, right? So let's make this a 1 for now. Buy here, stop loss. All right, see that going down there? Yay. Well, close enough. So since I don't know how to use the proper lot size with trading view, but we could make it here. It's gonna be really far, but still, let's just say right here. Okay, boom. That's our stop loss. Okay. Now we take our trade. Remember, based on your trading personality, right? Um, when you take your trade, look, you leave it alone till stop loss get hit or TP get hit. One of them have to get hit. Of course, all of these is just you acting in your best interest, not worrying about missing out, just taking it for what it is. Also, you could always put your stop loss in profit after any moment in time. Again, after a 4 hour or 8 hour later, but it's really up to you. Remember, we are taking a higher time frame setup. It takes some time before it gets to where it needs to get sometimes, and you might get a lot of bounce back and forth. All right, so let's go ahead and we're just gonna click play this time and see how it goes, right? Boom. We in profit right off the bat, okay? And then this is what's moving, right? So let's collapse real quick, okay? You see how it's moving? And I'm gonna do a slight little pause. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna transition it back to the weekly time frame, right? Because that's the time frame we was using to take our trade. Now, remember when I talk about previous low, right? So when we follow our rules and we place the stop loss at the last low like we were supposed to, that means that first loss that first loss would have never happened. Meaning our trade is within here, our stop loss is at the previous low. I know it's far. That's because the people that you have learned from, they taught you to focus on pips, money, 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 pips. No, trade is money management. You're gonna lose the same amount every time because that's what you say. Hey, that's my 1% or that's my 2%. No matter what happened, that's what it is. Again, if my stop loss is 500 pips, I'm gonna drop my lot size that way that 500 pips equals 250. If my stop loss is 100 pips or 100 points or 100 tick, same difference, right? I am going to drop my lot size that way it equals that 250 or that 100 or $50. All right. Other than that, yeah. Other than that, your life is about to be a breeze, right? Of course, you have to learn to accept it. Yeah, you got to learn to accept it for what it is. Um, of course, we know we would take the trade from there and we target structure highs, right? We know within here that's a structure, meaning it could always come back and retest, come back down. But our previous structure is this. Is it moving for me? Perfect. It will be right there. Okay. Now we not looking for $400. Okay, even though we're risking 250, right? We're not looking for $482. That just happened to be what our take profit is. If you're wondering why it's at the line, that's because we place our take profit at the turnaround point because it's not always going to hit the wick. Do we have anything above it? Yes, but we have to respect each structure accordingly. So I'll just click play and show you how it plays out. Boom. So please understand, also a weekly bullish. So 2 weeks, you are bullish. Like I said before, right? You see how it hit the previous structure point? It did give you a retracement, and then here it is continuing up. Okay. So in the case of this trade right here, right, you will be in the trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going up to 6 weeks. So you are holding that trade for a month. This is what I mean when I talk about a swing trader or a position trader, where you just place that position and you leave it alone. Proper stop loss and TP where it's supposed to be. TP got hit with a stop hunt. Oh, this is perfect too. I didn't even think about that. Like, look, move to the side real quick. Let's annotate. That way I can point that out for you very clearly, right? Look, notice how our TP got hit because I placed it at the exact turnaround point. Do you know what would have happened if I would have put my TP either within the zone or at the wick of it? It would have never got hit. Everybody's on Instagram now these days, right? I'm sure you've seen people on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Twitter showing you their trade. They pull up excellent trade, right? And market went close to the take profit, did not hit it just to come right back down. Now, I'm not saying that's what it's going to do, but this will be a perfect example of it. This is why proper stop loss and proper take profit matters. It's very, very important. Turnaround points. It matters. Okay. So that's actually really, really dope. That was very exciting to see. All right. That's why you want to place your take profit at the next structure turnaround point. Literally smash. Remember the spread a lot of time will not hit it because of the spread, but the turnaround point, 99% of the time it get hit. All right. So let's oh my bad. Let's cancel this out real quick and let's see how it played out. This will be the last setup we go over. All right. Going up, continuation up, boom. All right, look at that. Boom, smash. Okay. So remember, just like I said before, TP got hit. Okay. Structure got hit. Again, I said TP1. Again, TP2 would be all the way up there, right? How you choose to manage that trade is really up to you. At any moment in time, you could have put your stop loss in profit accordingly, but that's really up to you. I can't tell you what to do. Literally, this is up to you. You're gonna hit a point in your trading journey where you're gonna get mad just because you make not so much mad, like just because you make $500 for the day. It's like it's not. It's like you feel like you hit a brick even. You didn't make anything. Where in the very beginning you were just fighting to maybe make $50. Where you was telling yourself, look, man, all I need to do is make $100 for the day. All I need to do is just make $250, right? Where you got so comfortable making $5,000 a day or $5,000 a week, $10,000 a week, $10,000 a month. Now, because you just make $500 for the day, like, you feel like you had a bad trading days. That happens sometimes. That's why I said everybody's different. But as long as you follow your rules, you should be just fine. Okay. It's okay to miss out on the rest of that. But that was an excellent trade and you held that for the month. Okay. So 482. So, all right. So I did kept that loss just to help you understand the discipline behind placing that stop loss on the last low. Remember, the time frame that we trade is the time frame that we actually did our technical analysis. The time frame that you enter the trade is the 4 hour or the H4. Okay, that's where we get a 4 hour bullish or 4 hour bearish price action. All right. Very simple, very clean, simple, straight to the point. All right. Where are we now? I guess I can have this play out, see if it hit the next structure point. It's funny. I lost track to see if it did. Remember, even though we've seen it happen before, I literally forgot. But again, this is basically how you back test. Okay. You document accordingly. You see that, okay, cool. When I take a trade, if I place it at the last high, it doesn't go back. And if it does go there, it's going to give me another setup to take a trade. If I place it at the last low, it does that. You see that? Boom. Now, continuing with the trend, we already talked about the break and retest aspect, right? Because your TP got hit, it doesn't mean the trade is over, right? Remember that. Because your TP got hit, it doesn't mean the trade is over. Why am I saying that? This becomes a double top, right? Because it went to the same structure point, right? It hit it with a wick, come back down. Where's the next structural points? We have to respect every turnaround points for what it is, right? So, and it came to here. So within here, would be your next buy in the 4 hour after TP got hit, because that's a double top, okay? All right, to come back down, okay? And then after that, you see how the market is start clearing structure. Now it broke previous high, like to the left, right? It broke this high, okay? So you're looking for a retest point either within here. Of course, we want a 50 plus, and look at that. It came exactly to this structure point. Not only that it came to the structure point, it came there more than once. You see the wick? Stop hunt low, right? And then another one. Last zone would be right here. So again, if you were to take that buy based off this zone right here, right? Your stop loss will be down here. Okay? Why not? I'll throw that in there also. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, man. When you watch this on YouTube, it's not gonna be released for a minute now, but because my videos are posted or scheduled post, so see this probably next 2 months. Let's just use the rectangle property. We already talked about why I use that, but I'll make it look accordingly, right? So last low here, okay? That's where it stopped, right? That will be your zone, okay? And let's make it proper because it has to be the close of the last selling candle. If you pay attention, also match the previous structure point, okay? And where is our retest? Even though it goes all over to the zone double top, that's why it matters when you have the two, okay? So right here, same one, okay? Even though it went all the way up to here, right? That's how high it went. So within that zone, that's why I like to use the line chart because it showed me how big is the zone and where the retracement might be. Okay, so let me just use the last bullish, like right here. Okay, but remember, this is the whole thing. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a slight rewind. Okay, just to show you how you could have taken this buy. Okay, or even if you wanted to look at this, but we're gonna look at this structure instead, just to show you how it would have looked like. So we're gonna select the bar, and then we'll go back. We're gonna stop with this one. Why? Because this candle right there give us a stop hunt low. All right. Please remember, if this is our entry point, our stop loss is down there. So when taking the trade, proper stop loss. Proper stop loss placement is very, 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 very important. All right. All right. Let's just go to the 4 hour real quick. I'll keep this right here. That way we can understand where this our stop loss is the second zone. Okay. Let's just move this fast real quick. All right. So no bullish engulfing. Continue low. All right. So remember, it did hit the zone. We just didn't get no bullish engulfing, right? And we did get one small one right there. Okay. And again, like I said, it's all about stop loss placement. I know it looks really, really far away, but that's just happened to be what it is. Okay. We know it did that right there. It did that stop hunt low like so, right? And then to go up, and then it did come back again. So again, like I said, markets within zone. We're just looking for our PA, aka our price action. Here is, I'm moving this too fast. Okay, we'll stop here. One candle, and again, here would be our buy, and then stop loss would be down here. Okay, and I'll adjust the TP when we go to the higher time frame. So we could literally just transition back. All right. And I'll let it play on its own. Well, we already know our TP, next TP structure after this one right here would be this right there. And you see, and then just like that, TP got hit, market continue up. And that's just how the cookie crumble, okay? So with that being said, all right, that'll be the end of the video. I really appreciate you guys for the like and the comments and the support. If you are interested in learning this type of way, this method, if you see that it works for you, especially with this format of teaching, royaltyfxacademy.com or check the link below. Peace out, man. Appreciate the love and support as always.